Episode 1: The Arrival. I arrived at Garnet Hollow beneath a bruised sky, clouds swollen as if they contained something rotting just beneath the skin of the heavens. The road was silent, not empty but terrifyingly quiet. It felt like the trees themselves were holding their breath. An overwhelming sense of unease enveloped me from the very first moment. The town greeted me with a dilapidated sign, "Welcome to Ga et Ho Ao." The letters rusted, paint peeling like dead skin. I parked my car in front of a rundown grocery store. A man inside froze when he saw me. He didn't say anything, just stared, his eyes wide like a deer that had just heard the crack of a rifle. The silence between us stretched, heavy and uncomfortable, to the point where I could feel it as a tangible substance. "I need directions," I said, trying to break the eerie atmosphere. He simply pointed. No words, just a trembling hand directed me toward the inn. His fingernails were black. I can still vividly recall how they contrasted with the glass counter. His gaze never left me, as if I brought some invisible threat with me. The three-story inn looked like it had been abandoned for decades, but someone had recently swept the porch. This strange contrast only made me more suspicious. A woman, about 60, answered the door when I knocked. Her eyes flicked behind me before resting on my face. That look was full of worry and fear. "You're not from here," she rasped, as if she hadn't spoken in a long time. "No, ma'am. My name's Alex. I'm a journalist. I'm investigating a few missing person cases." I tried to sound calm, but a sense of foreboding was rising within me. Her lips pressed into a thin line. "You can stay, but don't ask about things after dark, and never look out the window at 3 a.m. Her voice was steady, but her hands were twitching uncontrollably. That strange warning planted a dark curiosity in me. That night I slowly unpacked. My room had an old bed, a dusty writing desk, and a tall wardrobe with a mirror covered by a dark cloth. A strange impulse made me pull the cloth back and look into my reflection. But my reflection didn't move simultaneously with me. It seemed delayed by half a second, a moment long enough to make my heart tighten in terror. I quickly pulled the cloth back down, trying to dispel the growing unease. I woke up at 2:58 a.m., drenched in cold sweat. Silence hung over everything, suffocating. No crickets chirping, no wind blowing. Not even the creaking of the old house. It was as if the world had frozen. An absolute stillness, signaling that something terrible was about to happen. At 3 a.m., I heard footsteps, slow, intentional, right outside my room. I held my breath, straining to listen for the smallest sound. The footsteps stopped right outside my door. A faint rattle, as if someone were fiddling with the doorknob. Then came the breathing. Shallow, like an animal stalking. The heavy breath puffed through the crack in the door, bringing with it an unbearable stench. A scraping sound echoed like nails dragging across old wood. A chill ran down my spine. I trembled as I reached for my phone to record, but the screen was pitch black. It wasn't dead. It had turned off. This abnormality only added to my terror. The breathing continued for 11 long minutes. Then complete silence returned, but this time it carried an even more terrifying echo. The next morning, my phone worked fine again. The recording app was open. One file, 11 minutes and 11 seconds long. I hit play. All I heard was static. Then, just before it ended, a voice, hoarse, hollow. It seemed to come from somewhere very far away, very deep. "Tomorrow you will see me." The next night I didn't sleep. I sat leaning against the wall, my eyes fixed on the dark door. Every smallest sound made my heart leap. But something told me that soon sleep would be the least of my worries. Whatever had whispered through that door, it wasn't done with me. And I had a feeling it had friends. The darkness in the room seemed to thicken, holding things that my mind couldn't explain. Next, don't look outside.